This video will be about nets. A net is used when you have a three-dimensional object, but you want to represent it in a two-dimensional way. The first object we're going to look at is a prism. So on this prism, we can only currently see the three sides. We have the top, the right, and the front. And we can represent this as a two-dimensional shape. So we have to take each side and show them drawn together where they would actually connect. So let's say we've drawn this side and it's the top side, so it's this blue side, and connected to it, right next to it, is this orange side. But we're going to be drawing it on a flat surface, so it's just going to look like one big rectangle now, but it's made up of those two sides. If we want to connect the front face is attached to the blue here. And since we are doing this two-dimensionally, even though the front attaches to the orange, we're not going to be able to actually draw them attached. It's like we're cutting this shape open. So if we cut along this line and then flattened it out, this is what we would have so far. We do also have the other sides of the shape that we can't see. Usually those are drawn in with dashed lines. So we have the left face, the back face, and the bottom face. So the left face is attached to the blue, but on the other side. I'm going to draw that in purple. So this face back behind is in purple. The bottom attaches to the purple or to the orange. You could actually choose either one, but again, since we're making this flat, it can't attach to both. So let's put it attached to the orange. So we're going to do the bottom face in red. And then most often this opposite face to the front face is attached to the opposite side. Let's do this in green. So this is the net of that prism. Oftentimes with prisms, it does just look like one rectangle with whatever the base shapes are, kind of looking like wings attached to the side. We could also do a prism for a pyramid. So I have two views of the pyramid here. This first one is if we were looking straight down at the top of the pyramid. And this second one, and actually these are two different. This one's a triangular pyramid. This one's a rectangular pyramid. The second one we're looking more from the front of the pyramid. So the nets for these are usually attached to the base first. So it'll start out looking the same if we have that top-down view, but it's like we're going to cut all of these edges and unfold it. So the edges become little triangles on the outside of the net. For the rectangular, and let me draw in the back line. So for the rectangular base would be drawn first, and then again the triangular sides get drawn in around the base. Again, if we either cut along these edges and unfolded, or if we took the net and folded it back up in, it would make this shape. Sometimes what they like to do on problems like these is also put objects drawn on the shape to make sure you select, especially if it's multiple choice, they'll have a couple of options that will all seem similar, but will have slight differences. So on this net, if we had the circle on a side, it would have to be on a side. If we had the square on a side, it'd have to be on the side next to the circle. And then the triangle, we have to have the pointy part of the triangle drawn here going towards the top. So it's easy to kind of want to keep it oriented the same way. You might think, oh, it should go this way, but that's opposite of the way it should be. So the triangular piece should actually be flat near the base and pointing towards the top of the pyramid. We also can do a net for a cylinder. So a cylinder has a circular top and bottom base. So for the cylinder, it's like you're slicing down the edge and unrolling. So this would actually unroll into a rectangular sheet. If you take a piece of paper and you roll it up, it becomes a cylinder. It just doesn't have a top base and bottom base covering it. So the side unrolls into the sheet, and then the bases are attached like wings, similar to on the prism. They can also give you a problem where they start with the net and have you make the shape. So this looks like our pyramid net. So these outside edges would fold up and make a pyramid, but it's going to be a 6-sided pyramid. So it would fold up something like this. So that concludes our discussion on nets.